Hi, and in today's tutorial I'm going to show you how to make this professional restaurant flyer in Word. So let's just go and open a new document. So at the moment I've just kept this document to an A4 size, but if you want to change it, if you go up to Layout, go to Size, click on the drop down, and you're given a number of different options here, and you can choose A5 if you want to, but I'm just going to keep it at A4 for now. So the first thing I'm going to do is go to Insert, Shapes, click on the drop down, and then go down to Rectangle. Now we're going to draw out a rectangle the size of our page, and the reason we're going to do that is because we want to change the background to black. Now to ensure that this is the right size, I'm going to select it, make sure you're on Shape Format, and over here you can change the height and width of your rectangle. Now this needs to be exactly the same size as your page. If you're not sure what dimensions your page is, go back to Layout, go back down to Size, and as you can see here we're on A4 and it tells you exactly what size we have here. So we need to put these dimensions into that value box. So over to height, and in the height we want to put 29.7, and then in width we want to put 20.99 and press enter, and then your rectangle will perfectly fit your page. Now what we need to do is just take away the shape outline, so click on the drop down here and select no outline, because when you insert a shape into Word it will always have an outline. Then go to Shape Fill, click on the drop down, select a colour of your choice, but for this demonstration we'll click on black. Now once we've done that we're going to insert a picture, so go to Insert, Pictures, click on the drop down, and I'm going to select Picture from File. I'm going to select this picture here and click Insert. Now often this will happen when you insert a picture, you'll see the outline but you won't actually see the picture, and that's because it's behind this black rectangle that we've inserted. So before you click away from it, make sure you're on Picture Format, go to Wrap Text, click on the drop down and select In Front of Text. Now obviously if you click away from it you won't be able to see it. So all you need to do is just move the background out the way, click on it, change the wrapping, and then pop the rectangle back again. Now when it comes to cropping images in Word, there's several things you need to be aware of. Word will crop this to a shape in accordance with the dimensions. So let me demonstrate. Go up to Picture Format and then go over to this crop tool here. Click on the drop down and you have these options here to crop to a shape or an aspect ratio. Now if I want to crop to a shape here and I crop to a circle, it won't crop to a circle, it will crop to the oval because my image is a rectangle. So let me just click on it and you can see what I mean. And also you have no option to move this picture within that oval. Once you've cropped it, or once your picture is inserted, it will literally crop it to the center of your image. So what you'll need to do, I'm just going to go back. If you use the crop tool here, click on the drop down and select crop. You have the option here to crop however you see fit. So if you don't want, let's say, these bits here included, then just crop those out. And then if you did want a perfect circle, you'd have to crop this to a 1:1 ratio or a square. So if I just press enter once I'm done, if you go up to crop and aspect ratio, here you can see 1:1. So if you want a perfect circle, we'll come back to that shortly because we're going to do some circles, you need to crop to 1:1. So I'm just going to crop this to a shape and select the circle because I actually want that oval. And then I'm going to spin it round using the circular arrow. And then I'm going to pop it at the top here. And then just move that to around about there. If you want it perfectly in the center, then select it, make sure you're on Picture Format, go to the Align tool, click on the drop down and select Align to Center. And now we want a nice border to this picture. So go to picture format again and go all the way over to format pane here, or you can double click on your image, it doesn't matter. And then this menu will crop up here. So you've got the bucket icon and you've got fill and line. So fill is to fill the image, so you can fill it with a color, and line is the border line. So let's select solid line, and then let's just pull this in. Go down to color and let's select this color here, and then width, I'm going to change this to 10 and press enter. There we go, and then we've got that nice borderline. If you want to change the color, you can. There's a lot of color options here, or you can go to more colors here, click on that, and you've got this color wheel here, and you can just use your cursor and just pick any color you want. Next, we're going to insert this element here. So let's go back. I'm just going to pull that down a little bit. Let's go to insert, shapes, click on the drop down, and we'll select a rectangle, and then we're just going to click and drag out a rectangle. That didn't quite work. Let's just click and drag out a rectangle, pop it about here, and then again, once you've selected it, you're on shape format, just take the outline out and then just click black. And then I'm going to insert some words, so I'm going to go to insert. I'm going to use word art here because it's a lot easier. Let's just go to this one here. It's right at the top here. Here we go. And then all I'm going to do is just to click this text here, and I'm just going to copy this text. There we go. Now I will show you how to format this. So let me just move this over here. Just move these pointers. Okay, so if you double click inside your text box here, you can select all of your text, go to the Home tab, and then you can fully customize it using all of these tools here. This is your font. So this font at the moment is called Aroni. And all I've done to this first word here is I've just selected it. I've increased the font to 26, and all I've done is use this tool here and just selected the yellow color. And then to make sure that that's all centered, I'm just going to select that box, hold down my Command or Control key, and then I'm going to select the other box, so they're both selected. Go to Shape Format, go to Align, click on the drop down, and select Align to Center. And then once you're happy with where it is, then just go up to Group, click on the drop down and select Group. And then this then turns that into one element. If you want to ungroup it, just reverse the process. Just go back up to Group and just select Ungroup. Now we're going to put some more text in. We're going to put this Burger Heaven in here. So let's just go to Insert, Word Art, and select. And then I think we'll just move that out here. The first thing we need to do is just turn this text all white. So double click inside, Command or Control A to select all of the text. Go to the Home tab. I'm just going to select white. And then I'm going to change the font to Cavalier. And I'm going to change the font size to 80. So I'm just going to put 80 in there. Press enter. There we are. Now I'm not actually going to type out the two words in this box because I want them to be in different positions. So I'm just going to copy and paste this. You can either do that Command or Control C, Command or Control V, or you can hold your Alt key down, make sure it's selected, click and drag out another text box. And then all we're going to do is double click inside and then type in our word. And then to change the color, just select it, go to Home, go to the font color and select that yellow. And now all we need to do is just move that to where we want it. There we go. Once we've done that, we can select them both, holding down the Command or Control key, go to Shape Format, Group, and select Group. And now we've got that group element there. The next thing we want to do is to create this shape here with this text in the middle. So let's go to Insert, Shape, and then we'll go to this shape here. Click and drag out a shape. If you hold down your Shift key, it will mean it's a perfect shape, otherwise it can get distorted. There we go. And then again to Shape Format, let's just take out the line, and then we'll go down and change the fill color. We're going to copy and paste that to make a second one. Holding down the Alt key, just click and drag. And then I'm just going to reduce the size of this, hold down my Shift key so that it maintains the same ratio. Now you can't see that, so I'm going to select it, go back over to my Format Shape menu over here, and then I'm going to select Solid Line, and I'm going to change that line to black and leave it at 1 point width. And then I'm going to go to this icon here, the effects icon, go to Shadow, click on the drop down, go to the presets, and then I'm just going to select a slight shadow, which is over here on the far right. Sorry, it's been cut off. There we go. And to make sure they're all centered, select this shape here and then hold the Command or Control key down, select the outer shape, go back up to align to center, align to middle, and then again we can group it so it's at now all one element. And then we're going to go to Insert, Word Art, click on this first word art, then we're going to type 50%. Okay, we're just going to change the font and font size. Go up to the Home tab, we're going to change that to Cavalier again, and we're going to change that to 48. There we go. And again, if we want to center it, select the outer group whilst selecting this group with the Command or Control key, go to Shape Format, Align to Center, Align to Middle. Now you can see that's actually pushed things a little bit too far up. So I'm going to click off, click back on, and I'm going to use my arrow key just to ensure that's perfectly centered. And once I'm happy, again with my Command or Control key, select them both, go to Group and group them together. And there we've made that element there. Now we're going to make this part here with the meals. Just the website. So again, Insert, Word Art, and then we're going to stretch that out. Double click inside, Command or Control A, and then just put the website in, and then just select it all, Command or Control A, go to the Home tab, and then on this one we're going to select Arial, and then I think it was 20, and then just change the color to white. And we're just going to spin that round and then just pop it down here. Don't worry too much about where everything is at the moment, because you can always move it at the end. And then back over, you can see these words have been slightly spread out. So what we did there, double click, Command or Control A to select everything. Let's actually just bring it down here. Command or Control A to select everything, and then if you right click, go down to Font, and then go to Advanced, go to Character Spacing, click on the drop down and select Expand, and then you have a little preview down the bottom here. So I'm just going to use the up arrow, and then I'll take this to maybe 4. There we go, and press OK, and then just spin that round, and then just take it to the edge. Okay, and now we're going to insert all of these pictures. So again, go to Insert, Picture, Picture from File, We'll select the burger and select insert. Again, it's gone behind everything, so straight up to wrap text in front of text. And because I want to make this a circle, a perfect circle, I need to crop this to a 1:1 square ratio. So select it, make sure you're on picture format, go up to crop, click on the drop down and select aspect ratio and select 1:1. You can increase or decrease the size of your square, and you can also move the picture around to make sure it's in the middle. Because once it's cropped, you can't then change it when you crop to a circle. So make sure it's where you want it to be, press enter, go back up to crop, crop to shape and select the circle. Now, because I want all of mine to be equal, I'm going to select a size that's easy to remember and is suitable. So select your circle, make sure you're on shape format, and go over here and you can see the height and width aren't quite square, which I'm not entirely sure why that is. So I'm going to go back one step and I'm going to go to crop, aspect ratio, crop 1:1, and then press enter. Then go to crop, crop to shape, and then select the circle. And now I've got a perfect square. So now all I'm going to do is select it and hit 5. Make sure it's checked here because then it will change this one here. And they will both match and they will keep their ratio. Press enter. You can see they've both changed to 5. And we've got our circle down here. We're going to add a border to this circle, so select it, go back over to line, click solid line, go over to colour, select the colour of your choice, and I'm also going to change this to 10 and press enter, and there we have that circle. Just need to go ahead and do that with the next 2 photos, so go to picture. Again, it's gone behind, go to wrap text, in front of text. There we go, and then crop, crop to aspect ratio, and then, okay. If that happens, just go back one step, hit Command or Control Z, just grab the corner. Now you can see what's happening here. So what we need to do is go back one step. When you grab the corner, all the sides, hit the Shift key and it will maintain the ratio. Don't hit the Shift key first because then it will make it disappear. So click on the black marker, hit the Shift key and then drag and it will keep that aspect ratio. There we go, and then press enter or hit crop and then click on the drop down, crop to shape and then crop to that circle. Then go down to solid line and then just check the colour and then increase the width of that border to 10, press enter and then quickly pop back up and change your height and width to 5 centimeters, and there you have your second circle. And again with the third. And there we have those 3 circles. Now once you've done that, just try and roughly space them out to where you want them. And then hold down your Command or Control key and then select all of them. Go to picture format, along to align, and then just align to middle. But also what you want to do is make sure they're distributed equally. So distribute horizontally. And it will make sure there's equal distance between each of those circles. Once you're happy, go to group, select group, and then there one more element. Okay, going back to the original, you can see we've now got these curves. So let's go to insert, shape, and then circle. This time I'm not going to hold the Shift key down, I'm just going to drag out an oval. And then drag that down to here. Go to shape format. I'm going to get rid of the outline and select that yellow colour. Then I'm just going to go to this effects here, go to shadow, and I'm going to select this top shadow here. And then all I'm going to do is hold down my Alt key, click and drag a second one, and then click away, click back on because I don't want to duplicate another two, and then click and drag out another one. Now I'm just going to select them all, holding down the Command key because I just want to align them to the center. Here we go. And then I'm going to select this one. I'm just going to slightly adjust that shadow. So I'm going to select this oval, go up to the shadow, and I'm just going to blur that shadow a little bit more, like that. I'm going to hold my Alt key down and select those two, and then go up to group and select those two and put them into a group. So now those two are a group. Then I'm going to send them backwards because obviously we're over the top of our circles. So select it, go to send backwards, and just keep clicking on send backwards until those ovals go backwards. And I'm just going to pull them down a little bit. And then I'm going to select the circles and just move those up a bit. Now if you want to make sure these are all in the center of your page, again just go up to align, align to center. There we go. And then down here I'm going to select this one, go to shape fill and select black. And then going back to our original, I'm going to put in these text boxes here. So for this one I am going to use a text box. Go to text box, draw text box, click and drag out a text box. And into there I'm just going to enter $5.99. Oh, going to select it all, Command or Control A, go to the Home tab, and then I'm going to select 18, and then I'm going to center it, and then go to Format Shape. I'm going to change the outline to white and the inner shape to black. I'm just going to reduce the size of it. I don't want it to be too big. And then once I'm happy, I'm just going to click and drag out another one. Click off, back on, because I don't want to duplicate two. There we go. So I'm just going to select all of them. Go to the alignment tool again and align to top. And I'm also going to distribute them equally. Now, if I've distributed them equally and got them roughly in the center, that's absolutely fine. But if you want to check they're perfectly lined up with your circles, then select the circles and you're going to have to ungroup them. And then select the circle and the box below, and you can see they're not quite centered. So then you can go to align, align to center, and then you can group those two together. And then you can do the same with this one, because you know these are all lined up to the right height, and these are all lined up. So if we just realign the boxes with the circles and then realign everything at the end, align to center, so everything's lined up there, and then just group them together. I don't think I grouped these two, so group them together. There we go. And now all I need to do is just group these three together. And now you've got one element that all you need to do is just align it to the middle of the page, and then that's all perfectly lined up as well. So the final thing we need to do is to just put in these elements here. So again, insert, word art, and they put it here. So because I can't see it very well, let's just double click inside, Command or Control A, and let's just turn everything white. Go to the Home tab and then just select the font color, and we can just move everything down. Double click inside, select all, and then let's just change the font to Arial and 16. Let's just select all of that and just turn that to bold. There we go. And then instead of repeating that process, just hold down your Alt key, click and drag out a new box. And then we'll need a separate one for the telephone number. So I'm just going to line all these three up first. Go to shape format, align to center. We'll roughly put them in the middle, but we'll sort that out in a second. Double click inside this one. I'm just going to cheat here. I'm just going to copy and paste. Okay, so let's just grab all of these, roughly where you want them. Command key and select them all. Shape format, align. Let's just make sure they're all distributed equally. And then align to center. Then just group them together. And then to ensure they're in the center of the page, go back to align and then align to center. And they're all perfectly lined up in the middle of the page. Now your elements are all in, you can go ahead now and just adjust them. They're not quite right. Now sometimes if things are grouped together and you do try to resize them, it doesn't quite work, certainly for the text. So let's just ungroup everything. And I'm just going to reduce the shapes. So let's just select the shapes. They're a little bit big, so I'm just going to just realign them again. Just use my arrow key. Then group them back together. And now we can just move this to where we want it. All these are obviously perfectly lined up, so if you want to move these, I suggest you use your arrow keys just to move them up or down, but just make sure they're centered into the page. And now you can go ahead and you can export that as a PDF file, or you can print it straight from Word. So I hope that's helped you today. If it has, please subscribe and have a great day.